Hello, good morning. Welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash, and I'm joined by my good buddy Doug this morning. And we are here to talk about Week 14 in the NFL. Doug, how are you doing on this Saturday?
I'm doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well. We've finally gone over to the winter weather down here in Arkansas. It's been in the 40s and 20s, so it's definitely feeling more like winter and more like Christmas, of course, which is around the corner. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk, we would love to have you join us. First of all, if you would give us a like, hit the thumbs up button, and then hit subscribe. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. Like I said, we would love to have you join us in our Discord. We have a very family-friendly, very positive and encouraging community in our Discord, and we give out we give out full lineups for Fanduel and Yahoo and a DraftKings core for all the major sports. So we have NFL, NBA, MLB. Doug covers PGA, and then any other sports that we might cover throughout the year. So we would love to have you join us. Send us a DM on Twitter or X at DFS Coach Talk, or you can email me at jpdavis1982@gmail.com. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it, starting with our game-by-game look. We had the game Thursday night. Unfortunately, my Packers could not beat the Lions. A little bit of officiating controversy there at the end, but that happens. All these big games, that always seems to happen. Mm-hmm. So got to overcome the refs, and you can't let a team get 5 out of 6 for fourth downs converted. That's for sure.
So, yeah, I will say one thing about the refereeing. I am in shock. They finally started calling holding on Detroit's offensive line. They've been doing it all year long. It's not been questionable holds. They have been jersey tugging all year long. They finally got it called in the second half of that game.
Yeah, they did finally.
If they do that the rest of the year, Detroit will probably win 1 or 2 games.
Yeah.
I hope it did.
Well, it was definitely an interesting finish, that's for sure. And there's a lot of people talking about the Christian Watson play, which to me, he was just trying to run a route, and Kirby Joseph ran right into him. But it
wasn't obvious. Yeah. It wasn't an obvious pick, in my opinion.
Right. And it was right at the one. They have that rule where it has to be beyond 1 yard past the line of scrimmage, and it was just right there at that 1 yard line marker. So it was
Detroit's NFL darlings live in Philadelphia.
And then the next series, which is why LaFleur was so upset, Laporta sets a pick on McDuffie like 6 yards down the field, and they don't call it. So that's what LaFleur was so upset about, if anyone was wondering about that.
I was. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I actually found that out today. So it was news to me too. Well, anyway, we can get past that. We'll start at 1 o'clock Eastern. The New York Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins in Miami. The Dolphins are a 6-point favorite at home, minus 265 on the money line, over under 44.5. 76 degrees, of course, nice weather in Miami, 10-mile-an-hour winds east to northeast. We have the Atlanta Falcons taking on your Minnesota Vikings. Return of Kirk Cousins to U.S. Bank. So this will be an interesting game. The Vikings are a 6-point favorite at home, minus 270 on the money line, with over under 45.5. Doug is a Vikings fan. You're a Vikings expert. So any insight on this game that you want to give us?
How much you want me to go into detail, Josh?
As much as you feel like it.
Okay, I think this is probably one of the 2 pivotal games this weekend for DFS. I'm going to go into more detail on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, Atlanta's defense overall is horrible. It's like 25th ranked and 28th ranked against the pass and rush. I'm going off the top of my head, everybody. I can pull up my notes. I'm not going to do that quite yet. But anyway, so I think the Vikings, everybody's focusing on Darnold, the pass game. Hawkins is a huge name because he's 4,300 on DraftKings. Atlanta's not bad against tight ends. In fact, they focus their defense in the middle of the field, where the tight ends get their catches.
Yeah.
Middle of the field. They
Right.
also have 2 Pro Bowl caliber safeties. So
Mhm.
throwing it deep, like everybody's going Jefferson. They have 2 Pro Bowl safeties out there. They're not
Right.
getting beat deep. They're getting beat deep in intermediate routes. That's really getting killed.
Mhm.
Also, they're getting killed by any running back that has a pulse. And by running or catching. So I like
Okay.
Jones more than most people are going to like this weekend. I'm going to fade Hawkinson. I'm going to fade Jefferson. And I'm looking at their number 2 receiver in Minnesota. Okay. And I'm looking at
Okay.
the running back Jones on
So
that
you're
game.
looking at
Darnold's still a good play, by the way.
yeah. So
He's
you're looking
still a
at
good play.
Jones and Addison.
And then we'll go on the Atlanta side. Okay. Running game, not going to happen against Minnesota.
Mhm.
As in all year, no one's running the ball on them on a consistent basis. Arizona ran the ball, but their quarterback was their leading runner,
Right.
Kyle Murray, and he does that against everybody. And he
Mhm.
breaks down defenses, and so he takes that 70-plus yards away. And the running game was they ran the ball like 3 good carries against Minnesota. The running back Connor did, and that was
Okay.
it. So I don't see Robinson doing much. So they have passed the ball. Cousins has got a bad shoulder, bad Achilles. Showing off his mechanics and his arm strength. You ready for this
Yeah, he's
trash?
he's really been struggling. I mean, really.
He threw a clean, crisp 34-yard pass this past week.
Wow.
34 mile per hour pass.
Man.
Sorry, I didn't say it right for a second.
So he has no
So,
velocity whatsoever in that shoulder.
correct. He is the 27th ranked quarterback against blitzes.
Hmm.
Minnesota's in the top 5 for blitzing.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking at the running back catching balls, Robinson some, but London's going to have a huge game.
Drake London. Okay.
Yeah, and I think Murray's going to be covering Mooney.
Okay.
And if Mooney, and he's questionable, Mooney's questionable.
Yeah. And so Stephon Gilmore's out. So is he going to be Murray? You said Murphy.
Brian Murphy. Yeah.
On Mooney if he plays.
I think that's where they're going to head up him, yeah.
And
Because he
then
covers the deep ball pretty darn good.
and then who's going to be on London?
It'll be schematic.
Okay.
They'll schematic. They got 4 safeties that can cover receivers.
You think they'll have Shaq Griffin on him?
Griffin or Mordeaux.
Okay.
I can't pronounce his name. But
Yeah.
it's not going to be just one corner. It never has been all year for Minnesota.
Yeah, I got you.
So Kurt's gonna get the ball out quick. They kind of been getting away from the pistol offense last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to go back to that a little more. That might be a little bit effective against Minnesota.
How's
And
Minnesota against tight ends?
Good.
Good. Okay.
They're above average against tight ends. And Kurt's got to look at the tight end too in order to throw it to him.
Yeah.
Gotcha. He's been kind of not looking at it that way. So I think it's going to be an interesting game. Like in London, 150 yards, and maybe if he gets in the end zone.
150?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
He's my number 1 receiver this week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Gotcha. All right. We move on.
New Orleans Saints in New York taking on the Giants. The Saints are a 5-point favorite on the road, minus 245 on the money line. 50 degrees with the wind blowing to the west at 15 miles an hour. Big injury news here is Malik Neighbors is questionable. If he doesn't play, then obviously Wan'Dale Robinson becomes a really nice play. But I do like Neighbors if he plays, but he is questionable. We have the Carolina Panthers and Philly taking on the Eagles. The Eagles are a 13.5-point favorite at home, minus 835 on the money line with a 45 over under. 52 degrees with the wind blowing to the west at 13 miles an hour. We have the Cleveland Browns in Pittsburgh taking on the Steelers. The Steelers are a 6.5-point favorite at home, minus 310 on the money line, over under a 43.5. 44 degrees, wind blowing to the west, southwest at 13 miles an hour. Injury news there, George Pickens is listed as questionable. I think he will play, but he is questionable. We have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Bucks are a 7-point favorite at home, minus 305 on the money line with the over-under of 46. 72 degrees with the wind blowing to the east at only 3 miles an hour. Bucky Irving is listed as questionable. I think he will play. Alexander Madison is questionable, but I don't think that's going to really matter. I think Sincere McCormick's going to get the carries, which we'll talk about him in a little bit. Jacoby Myers is listed as questionable, but he did practice on Friday, so I think he will play. Jacksonville at Tennessee. Tennessee is a 3.5-point favorite at home, minus 180 on the money line with an over-under of 40. 55 degrees with the wind blowing to the southwest at 10 miles an hour. We move to the 405 slate, the Seattle Seahawks in Arizona for a big NFC West divisional battle for first place. The Cardinals are a 2.5-point favorite at home, minus 145 on the money line with an over-under of 44.5. Kenneth Walker is listed as questionable, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. The Buffalo Bills are in Los Angeles taking on the Rams at 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Bills are a 3.5-point favorite on the road, minus 185 on the money line. 49.5 over-under. I believe that's the highest on the slate. Is it, or is Minnesota? Yeah, it is. 49.5 is the highest on the slate. Let's see. Buffalo's 3.5-point favorite on the road, minus 185 on the money line with over under 49.5. No weather because they're indoors. The Chicago Bears are taking on the 49ers in San Francisco. The Niners are a 3-point favorite at home, minus 180 on the money line with an over under of 43.5. 66 degrees with the wind blowing to the northwest at 5 miles an hour. DeAndre Swift and DJ Moore are both questionable, so we'll have to keep an eye on that news. 7:20 p.m. or 8:20 p.m. Eastern. The Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. Chiefs are a 4-point favorite at home, minus 210 on the money line, over under 43. 52 degrees with the wind blowing to the southwest at 10 miles an hour. We have the Monday night game, the Cincinnati Bengals and Dallas taking on the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb and Jake Ferguson are both listed as questionable for Dallas. The Bengals are a 5.5-point favorite on the road, minus 245 on the money line with an over-under 49.5. That will take us into our top plays. Let me check and see if we have any questions in the chat. I don't see any. Quarterback. My top quarterback this week is going to be Caleb Williams. He's 5,600 on DraftKings, 7,300 on Fanduel, $27 on Yahoo. Since Thomas Brown took over as the play caller, they've been, playing much better on offense. Caleb Williams has been playing much better, obviously. Had another great game against Detroit on Thanksgiving. Threw for 256 with 3 touchdowns for 26.1 DraftKings points. So I came close on my bold prediction for him to be the top quarterback on Thanksgiving. Tua ended up outscoring him by a few points, but it was close. Going up against San Francisco, they've been dealing with a ton of injuries, as everybody knows. Their season's on the brink of disaster. Their playoff hopes are just about gone. Dre Greenlaw is going to be out. He was already ruled out. And then safety George Odom, who kind of rotates in and out, he's been ruled out. And Nick Bosa is doubtful. So I think Caleb Williams should have another nice game this week. We will, like I said, have to keep an eye on that DJ Moore news. If DJ Moore is out, I don't like Caleb Williams near as much. But if DJ Moore plays, I think that Caleb Williams should be a solid play.
You got to also look at Allen in that game, Crash.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he was not practicing most of the week, and then he did a limited practice. Was it on Friday? Correct?
Yeah, I think so. But he doesn't have, as far as I can see, he doesn't have an injury designation anymore. So they must have cleared him.
Oh, he has one, but yeah. Okay, they cleared him. That's fine.
Okay.
I was more worried about more than Allen than I was flip-flopping on the injuries I was worried about. I think Allen's going to be playing hurt, and he never plays hurt very well. But
right.
But Odunze, him and Williams just have no chemistry right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting. Maybe So if one of those receivers is out, I would definitely fade Williams, like you're saying.
Yeah. And then for value, I like Aiden O'Connell, 4,800 on DraftKings, 6,700 on FanDuel, $22 on Yahoo. Tampa has allowed the second most fantasy points to quarterbacks this year. Bryce Young, who we recommended as a value play last week, he had a solid game against Tampa. He had 298 yards with a rushing and a passing touchdown for 23.6 DraftKings points. So really good value if you played him last week. And then Aiden O'Connell was against the Chiefs. He had a really nice game against them. He's only 4,800 on DraftKings. So especially on DraftKings, I think it's really good value. So who do you like as your top quarterback, and what's your top value quarterback this week?
I think that DraftKings has been dropping their price on pricing for a while now.
Yeah, I think so too.
And everybody's just been, Fanduel so easy, pay up for this player and that player.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke on DraftKings.
Yeah,
it's the opposite this year. It's been really weird. You've mentioned one. Caleb Williams is my number 2 rated value quarterback. Number 1,
okay.
Will Levitt. Will Levitt's number 1 barely.
Yeah,
and we're talking barely. Yeah, and we're talking value. We're talking FanDuel, 6,600.
Right.
And FanDuel, then he dropped the price down, but he's even cheaper than that, obviously, in DraftKings. So their pricing's off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm going to hammer their pricing probably the rest of the episode because I looked at it and it was.
Yeah, it's
I could have a few, 3 pay-ups easy and have missed prices throughout the rest because of the tight end position.
Mm-hmm.
And the running back, you're just going to have fun with it.
Yeah.
Other quarterbacks, I'll just list a couple of others. Mayfield.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield. Like him. Sam Darnold, I mentioned him earlier. He can always throw to Jones for a touchdown. He can throw, he's got a lot of options out there. The Vikings are getting Oliver back, their run blocking tight end.
Yeah.
He can sneak in for dirt cheap for a touchdown again. But he's been catching balls every single week. He's been in. And he's back this week. And he played practice and bowl Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah.
So he's full participant. So I like Keenan Allen. Anyways, and then we got Murray. I'm kind of on the line with Murray, Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm.
He's 7,800 FanDuel. That's a little bit too rich, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
But DraftKings, he's much more manageable, like 6,000 at DraftKings. Again, DraftKings pricing.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then just 2 other players you already at AOC I liked, and you can look at Russell Wilson possibly.
Okay.
And 2 other guys I would mention. And then I just already went over the pay downs. Levitt and Aiden O'Connell would be the 2 pay downs.
Yeah, you mentioned Tua. I think Sauce Gardner and somebody else that was a big name on the Jets defense is out too. So they're definitely dealing with injuries.
Right, and the thing with the Jets is that they play right in the hands of Tua because Tua is a quick passer, and they're very bad against quick passes.
True.
Okay, and no one really knows that, but
yeah,
he plays right in the hand, and their number 1 receiver is going to be, of course, Geno Smith.
Right.
Geno Smith. So
yeah,
we already know that. But anyways, he's been there for the last.
Yeah, he's really just exploded on the scene in the last 3 weeks. It's been pretty wild.
There are several tight ends. Just look at them as receivers now.
Yeah, true. We're going to talk about one here in a minute. So running back, you've got Breece Hall, you've got Isaac Guerrero as a value. Braylon Allen, with Breece Hall out or doubtful. Doubtful pretty much always means somebody's not going to play. So I'm just going to assume that Breece Hall is going to be out. So Braylon Allen becomes a nice value play. Same thing with Guerrero, with McCaffrey and Mason on the injured reserve. So I'm going to pay up at running back for Saquon. Sure. You can play, Allen and Guerrero or one of the 2 and play somebody else at value, but I'm definitely going to pay up for Saquon. Carolina has allowed the most fantasy points to running backs this year, and I'm thinking that he might get close to 200 yards. So it should be a monster game for Saquon tomorrow. and maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns, at least one. And then, like I said, you got the value with Braylon Allen and Garendo. The other value play I mentioned earlier, is Sincere McCormick. Alexander Madison has not been good all year. And I think that
last year.
Yeah. McCormick had a nice game last week against the Chiefs, who are top running defense. So I think that McCormick should have a nice game for sure against Tampa, who's not a top running defense. Although they have been better against the run lately, I still think it's a good play. I like what I saw from him when he was running against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I didn't have eyes on most of that game. What was his running style like?
His running style?
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of Bucky Irving, honestly.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice.
I think he's gonna be good. I do. In fact, now I'm curious. Let's see.
Right, at DraftKings, you don't have to worry about it. You got lots of options
for running backs.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they're almost the same size. I said that, and Bucky Irving is 5'9", 195, and McCormick's 5'9", 205. So it's pretty funny.
That is funny. Is Bucky? He get game time decision though. So
yeah, I don't know if he's going to play or not. He would be one of my top running backs as a pivot from Saquon. Also, like Tony Pollard against the Jags.
Yep.
But yeah, that's I'm pretty much locked in on Saquon and using the value at other positions.
Yeah, I mean, go with the almost sure thing.
What's that?
Go with the almost sure thing.
Yeah, he's about and more in my lineups for cash lineups. So as a cash play, I mean, it's about as safe as you can get, as long as you don't get hurt. Hope that hasn't happened so far, but man, has he been injury plagued over the years.
Yep, I agree. Well, what do I got here? I got pay ups. My order running backs, Rayfless. Barkley, Echan, and Kamara would be the 3 pay ups I'd look at.
Yeah.
Bucky Irving's not a pay up on DraftKings. He's 6,600. Right. He's mid tier. So love it. If he's in, play him. I like Pollard, a little bit James Conner you mentioned, and Jones.
Okay.
In the mid tier. Bargains. I'll throw some at you here. DraftKings, if they're difficult pricing this week. Gurando's 5,400. You can pay all the way up for Swift at 5,700. Tyron Tracy way up at 5,700. Braylon Allen at 5,000, and you can throw a dart through it. Patrick Taylor at 4,000 as well.
Yeah, Patrick Taylor is going to be. Is he still with San Francisco? He's been kind of bouncing around the league, but
he's San Fran.
Yeah.
So you get McCormick, and then you got Patrick Taylor for San Fran. So you got 2 people right there. But you could go with those risky plays, or you could just pay down at tight end and and DraftKings at least. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So wide receiver, as I usually do, I do like pairing up Jacoby Myers with Aiden O'Connell. 5,600 on DraftKings, 6,700 on Fanduel, and $28 on Yahoo. Tampa has allowed the 6th most fantasy points to wide receivers this year. The last 2 games, Myers was targeted 26 times against Kansas City and Denver, 2 of the better pass defenses. So against Tampa, who's not as good of a pass defense, I think that Jacoby Myers could have a big game. He was injured and listed as questionable. I think he still is, but it looks like he's going to play. That was my only concern, was if he's going to play or not. But he should definitely see double-digit targets this week. And look for him to be the second option behind Brock Bowers. And then my value play is Nick Westbrook-Akine. He's 4,700 on DraftKings, 200 on FanDuel, $21 on Yahoo. Jacksonville has allowed the 3rd most fantasy points to wide receivers. He scored double-digit fantasy points in 5 of his last 6 games. He scored a touchdown in 3 games in a row, and he had 2 on just 3 catches last week for 61 yards for 21.1 DraftKings points against Washington, who's been pretty good against receivers. So I like Westbrook-Akine a lot as a value play. And I also like going back to MVS, who's got a touchdown in 3 straight games as well.
Yeah, and guess who gives up the second most touchdowns to deep balls?
Jacksonville.
MVS is going to enjoy himself this week.
Oh, the Giants. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the deep ball's a killer. The top pass rusher is out for this game.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's a Giant. So you're looking, and he's going to get to run too. So
Right.
you're looking at a significant hit on their defense. He got a couple other injuries, one at linebacker as well, to remember.
Sure.
I had. Yeah, MVS is very much in play. Those are 2 people that are going to be played because he's 4,600 on DraftKings. You mentioned price, but that's 46. Wandell Robinson, 4,900. But he have a huge dart throw. You can do that. But again, why risk this when you can just do a good receiver or tight end? I mean, sorry. Delaware,
you're right. We're on wide receiver. You're right.
But I know, but you know what I mean? Tight end receiver, anyways.
Oh, yeah.
The sneaky play I like Ray McCloud this week against the Vikings. Number 3 wide receiver. Vikings are depleted on their cornerback, and I like him a lot as a sneaky play.
Okay.
He's 4,500 on DraftKings.
That's a good value pivot too. I like that.
Yep.
All right.
Keeps you in, I think, a very high scoring game.
For sure. Go to tight end. Brock Bowers, 6,500 on DraftKings, 8,000 on Fanduel, $27 on Yahoo. He's been targeted 40 times in the last 3 games. He scored 30-plus fantasy points in 2 of those 3 starts. Going up against Tampa, they have allowed the 6th most fantasy points to tight ends. I think he'll have another monster game this week. The guy's incredible, honestly. If you watch the game against the Chiefs, I know the Chiefs have struggled against tight ends, but he was just catching everything. And he's a superstar, for sure. He's already a top 3 tight end in the league. It's his first year. So
yeah, and this goes with why I wouldn't pay down at receiver.
Yeah.
If I'm on DraftKings, I think it's a poor move. Strategically.
Mm-hmm.
You're either doing running back or tight end.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then for value, I like Freiermuth. He's 3,800 on DraftKings, 5,500 on FanDuel, $14 on Yahoo. Cleveland has allowed the 11th most fantasy points to tight ends this year. He was targeted 7 times, which is tied for a season high against Cincinnati. Had 6 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown for 18.8 DraftKings points. So tremendous value at his price. I like Freiermuth this week as a value tight end.
Yep, good call. I had him as one of mine actually.
Oh, cool.
Pay up. You hit Bowers. McBride.
Yeah, I like McBride too. I like both of them. In fact, I have several lineups of both of them. So
Janu Smith.
Yep.
And I love Kittle's price on DraftKings, 5,800 against the 19th ranked defense against tight ends.
Yeah.
And then you've got Otten, 4,400 on DraftKings, going up against the 30th ranked tight defense against tight ends. Hawkinson, mentioned him earlier a little bit, 4,300 going up against average type-ish Falcons defense against tight ends.
Yeah.
The other cheapies, Jawan Johnson, 3,400. He'll be the starter. He's questionable, but he'll play. And then my other sneaky little nugget would be Kakatera, 3,500. Gets a worst defense against tight ends in the NFL.
Is Dallas Goedert out or is he playing?
I did not even see him on my list, so he must be out, right?
Let me see. Yeah, he must be. He's listed. Calcaterra is listed as a starting tight end. I didn't realize that. So that's Calcaterra is going to be a chalky value play tight end.
You think? Because I've not heard a whisper of him. So, and let's face it, if it's a kind of a blowout, He's kind of a safe option. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why right throw the ball down the field, just throw it at the tight end. It got a big lead. Move the chains. If you don't run the ball.
Yeah. So 1 hour ago, Dallas Goedert went on injured reserve. So yeah, he's definitely.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good player.
Yeah. That's also going to make him more popular because people are going to see that news and then
I know.
Huh.
We'll see. A lot of good tight ends. That's just it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good tight ends. You're right about that. Defense, obviously the Eagles against the Panthers. I also like the Steelers against the Browns, the Cardinals, and the Seahawks on both sides. You can play them. The Bears are 2,400 on DraftKings. I like that. They're 3,600 on Fanduel and $15 on Yahoo. I don't like those prices as much, but definitely a good value on DraftKings. And then one other defense that I like is who was it? Tennessee against Jacksonville.
Yep. Yeah. You nailed them all. Got them all.
Okay.
Nothing to add on that. Okay.
All right. We can move on with our lock of the week. I'm going to go ahead and take the low-hanging fruit, take the Eagles over Carolina. And then I am going to take, done this quite a bit lately, the point spread for Atlanta against the Vikings. I do think Minnesota will win. They always win the close game, so I'll pick them to win another close game by probably 3 and take Atlanta +6.
Smart. Oh, I think I agree on all that. Any others going to add to this?
No, I'll give my bold prediction after you do your lock and your upset.
All right. Well, because see, I always pivot because you take my guys.
Yeah.
It's okay though. I'm just adding my dummy lineup for Fanduel. All right. Lock of the week. Just going back to this. You really did take the low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
you did.
I mean, there's really like nothing else that seems like a lock to me.
So. I mean, the Eagles were the lock, I thought, this week. Yeah. I see the Giants pulling off another loss somehow against New Orleans. I'm gonna take New Orleans.
That'd be an upset, lock, right? Because they're a 5-point favorite. The Saints are. So
I'm still taking the Saints. That's what I'm saying.
You're taking what?
I'll still take the Saints. I just don't see how the Giants could win.
You just think the Giants will cover?
I think they'll cover, but the Saints I'll take as my lock to win.
Oh, okay.
This week, okay. And at one time Seattle was the favorite against Arizona. Unfortunately, they're not anymore. I did like that. My upset would be the Bears.
The Bears, okay. I can definitely see that. How much are they underdogs by?
3.5 point underdogs. You can take the point or outright.
Okay. I like that. All right. So for bold predictions, I am going to say the Carolina Panthers will have the lead in the second half against Philly at some point, but they'll lose in a closer game than most people expect.
Not a bold prediction at all.
How's that not bold? A 13.5 point favorite?
Well, no, I agree with it. That's why I don't think it's that bold. I think the game script.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to go, my other lock of the week would be Pittsburgh. If you want to go for another lock, but I really, I really don't. Yeah, I forgot who my bold pick of the week was off the top of my head now. Oh, what's that?
I mean, I don't know, but I think the Drake London play was pretty bold. 150.
Oh, the top receiver of the week. Yeah, that's what it was actually. Do you think that's bold though? Really?
You actually, yeah.
Okay. And then I'm gonna have the NFL. There'll be at least 4 pick sixes this week as well.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Generous for quarterbacks this week. Yet one will be in the Minnesota-Atlanta game.
One will be in Minnesota-Atlanta. You're not saying which way it'll go, though?
Well, no, you got Darnold and you've got Cousins, very generous quarterback. So.
True.
Yeah. All All right.
All right. So prize picks. Aiden O'Connell, Goblin play more than 199.5 passing yards. Another Goblin play, Saquon Barkley, more than 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. Brock Bowers, more than 59.5 receiving yards. And Caleb Williams, more than 199.5 passing yards. Those are all Goblin plays, so they're lower payouts, but I think they're almost all, pretty close to a lock on all four. So the one that would surprise me the most would be if Barkley didn't get in the end zone. I'll definitely say that.
Yeah. I know the reason he went is because someone vultured him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, let's check the chat. Nope, no questions. So we'll go ahead and go to our two brains, our better than one FanDuel lineup. You want to go ahead and start that off? I think I started it last week.
You did. Right. Hang on a second. Just loading up another lineup. Center another contest.
We did really good last week because we had Bucky Irving and I don't even remember who all we had, but we had some really good plays.
Oh, Bucky Irving alone. I mean, you were on him last week, big time. Yeah. I was like kind of on the fence with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you mentioned
Mike Evans was the other one.
Yeah. How did Evans do?
Oh, he did great. He had, let's see.
I had some really good lineups
for 118 yards and a touchdown. So
yeah, he came up on injury report Wednesday with his hamstring. I don't know if it's the same one, or we aggravated it, or if it's just to put it on there because it's still an issue.
Yeah, it looks like he got cleared though yesterday, so he should be good to go.
Oh boy, let's have a little fun this week. Levitt will be the chalk, okay? Because he had coming off a good week, and they're going up against Jacksonville, okay?
Yeah.
I don't. So let's not play Levitt. Let's not play Caleb Williams either, okay?
Okay. Yeah, he's a little pricey on FanDuel too. So
he's a little bit, yeah. A lot of them are low. So you got the night game. I'm not a huge fan of the night game.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think KC's pass defense has not been very good lately.
No, they haven't.
Oh wow, they're 23rd against the pass this year.
Yeah.
Recently. As far as yards, I think a lot of it's yards. Maybe don't matter. Not doing Jameis Winston this week, that's for sure.
He had a monster game. I mean, I know he threw the pick six and all that, but that was a monster game for him.
Yeah, 2 is too pricey. Kano, I think, is too pricey, even at 6,700 for Fanduel at least. Well, I don't want to do Sam Darnold. I already got one Sam Darnold lineup. Let's do a Kyle Murray lineup.
Kyle Murray, okay.
Sure, something different. I don't think he's a bad play. I think he's just in the middle. But something different for everybody.
Take.
He's 7,800. Yeah.
Let's take McCormick. He's going to be low owned compared to
what's his price?
5,500.
Thank you. I see. It's all right. And just looking at running back prices. So this is out for us. I still gonna go Garagino. It's just the offensive line, the blocking is so elite for run blocking. Yeah, and Garagino can catch and run. So I do like him for that. He's a great value.
You want to put him in the flex and then
so I was thinking about just putting him at running back maybe for now.
Okay, and somebody else in the flex.
Yeah, it gives us a little more options, but
yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we could double. Yeah, I mean, I decided we could throw Barkley in later on if we want to.
I'll take Westbrook. Westbrook Akine.
What does he at Fanduel?
6,200, so he's not bad.
Do you want Ridley at 63?
You want to play both Tennessee with no Will Levis?
No. One or the other. I just was asking, okay, you want to do because of volume, because Ridley's getting the volume. So, okay, and then let's way up to Moore, who is no longer questionable at 6,600. DJ Moore is playing. DJ Moore starting at receiver.
I see that now. Hey, I'm going to run to the restroom. I'll be right back. Sorry about that.
That's how life is, you know?
Yeah. So who did you take? DJ Moore?
Yep.
Okay. We go ahead and take Trey McBride. Pair him up with Murray.
Yeah, absolutely. I already have him in there.
What's that?
I already put him in our lineup.
Oh, okay. Did you put anybody else in there?
Oh, no, that's what I had.
Okay. And we'll go ahead and put did you say you like the Bears defense?
Yes, love.
Or maybe Arizona or Seattle. I know another one we said was Tennessee. We'll take Tennessee.
Yeah, they're real good value on Fanduel, I think.
4,000. I think so too.
Yeah, I really like that value. I think it's pretty far out there. If there are
50 in their last two.
Yeah, I also want to mention if there are any people out there that are listening, if you do want a free weekly membership, you get tweet to Josh, and we are giving those out to people who are viewing that. And you can give your
it's at DFS Coach Talk. Send me a DM, and we'll be glad to get you on our Discord.
Yeah. So, we did McBride. We'll do Tennessee defense. We can do anything we want as far as Price, but hang on a second. Titans E, and then we both agree on Barkley.
Yep.
Put him in a flex. And then that leaves us 7,500 at receiver.
7,500. Okay.
And we could go all the way up to Pickens, who I really do like this week. So
Yeah,
why don't we
I like
could
that
do
call.
Pickens?
Go take Pickens. Okay.
Yeah, I
So
do like it.
Yeah, we've got Kyler Murray, Sincere McCormick, Isaac Guerrero, Nick Westbrook-Akine, DJ Moore,
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens, Trey McBride, Saquon Barkley, and the Titans defense.
Yeah, I like it. I can do one minor tweak.
Okay.
If you want, if you're willing to do it. Okay. Let's see what the Seattle receivers look like this week.
Okay.
For Price. I want to see
instead of Pickens.
Possibly, yes.
Oh, they're up above where we're at.
I say really.
Metcalf is 76 and Jigba is 1,000.
Here's the thing on Metcalf this week. The thing on Metcalf I don't like. Shoulder is not good. He has been clear to play this weekend. Shoulder is one of the worst injuries I have at receiver.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a physical receiver.
Right.
Jackson Smith Najiba is a great play this week. Not on FanDuel.
No, not at 8,000.
No, and I do like Arizona's defense more and more as I've been watching them. So yeah, I like the way it is. Picking 7,500 is my choice still.
Okay.
I just was looking.
Yeah.
She played value there.
Sounds good, man. Well, that is going to do it for our show today. I hope everybody has enjoyed this podcast. If you would, like I said before, hit the like button and then hit subscribe. After you've done those two things, hit the alarm bell. That will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. We thank you for joining us today, and we'll be back again next week as we do look to crush it in NFL, DFS, and Prize Picks. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.